and we'll start off sports. And I know Mike can't wait till this happens. Tiger Woods is not going to be able to defend his golf championship from last year, the FedEx Cup, as his season ended with a whimper. So Tiger is not going to be in the final 35 golfers battling it out for the FedEx Cup. All right, there's that. I guess I can also talk a little bit about what's going on, in my opinion, in baseball with umpiring. And they're bringing a lot of new young umpires on. And I tell you, it's an interesting year. And while I was watching football this past weekend, because I watched the Giants game, you now can throw a red flag if somebody, let's say somebody gets a touchdown pass, a long bomb, and you think that offensive receiver did a penalty. You can throw a red flag out and they'll review it. Now, I think that's going to really incredibly slow down the game, but who knows? But I just think it's an insane rule. But anyways, let's bring in Mike Cozzi. Good morning, Mike. How are you this morning?
I'm good. How are you?
I got an abscess the size of a golf ball in my mouth.
Oh, no.
It started on Saturday. Couldn't get a hold of the dentist. Went to the hospital yesterday and got some antibiotics and stuff like that. But I'll tell you, it's been cottage cheese and a straw for me.
Oh, that stinks.
Well, it stinks, but what the hell? So I sent you I don't know if you got my text yesterday that I sent you, but going into their meeting, the Cleveland and the Yankees, they had the two best records since the All-Star break. But boy, what showed up in the Cleveland Yankee series is what's got to concern any true Yankee fan, and that means when they hit and they get good pitching, they're as good as anybody else. But matching those two things up is really only about a 25% success rate.
Yeah, well, they got beat up the first game, 19-5.
Yeah.
Then they won two one-run games, which could have went either way.
Yeah.
And then yesterday they got smacked around again, 8-4.
Yeah.
Their pitching's not good.
No.
They get occasional good pitching, but for the most part, it's not. They were expecting Sabathia to help. That was a mistake. He lasted about 2 innings yesterday, and then he started barking at the umpire because he was blaming him for his lack of being able to throw strikes, and the wheels came off, and there you go. And the Yankee killer didn't even play yesterday, Ramirez, so they have issues.
Yeah,
now they're going out to the West Coast, so we'll see how they fare with that. Cleveland, they looked streaky this weekend. At times they hit the ball very well. At times they couldn't hit the side of a barn. So they have been playing well. You can't play well forever. So right now they're in a little bit of a slump. But they play the Mets now. So they have an off day today, and then they stay in New York, and they play the Mets for 3 games, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
And even though
the Yankees go to the West Coast, and they start out with the A's, who have been playing well, and then they play the Dodgers.
Yeah, and Houston still. I sent my last text that I know they're going through a little rocky period now, but you line up Houston offensively, defensively, power and pitching. There's just not another team like them in the American League.
They're the deepest team in baseball.
Yeah.
But you have to play, and things happen. If Verlander has an off night and Cole has an off night, and they lose 2 games in the playoffs and they're down 0-2, they're in trouble, which could happen. You never know. So on paper, they're the best team around. They just went through a bad streak. They won yesterday out in Oakland, but I think they lost like 5 games in a row prior to that. But they are the best team in baseball. The Yankees, they're not getting production from the judge. So he has to start swinging the bat. And like we said all year long, if it wasn't for the depth of the Yankees minor leagues, they'd be in big trouble this year because those are the guys that are producing for him.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. Now, before we go on to anything else, I didn't realize in the NFL this year, let's say you throw a 70-yard touchdown pass to your receiver, a coach can throw a flag and say, I think there was interference.
Oh, my God.
I saw that this week. You know how this is going to slow down the game? Yeah. You can actually question whether or not someone was interfered
And
with.
what's the ramification if you're wrong?
I don't know. I have no idea. I guess the play doesn't count. And if there's a ramification...
No.
Oh.
If there is no... If I throw a flag and say, I want you to look for interference, and there is none, what's the penalty that I get?
I don't know. It shocked me so much I couldn't believe it.
Just another reason why I don't watch football.
It was.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. No. Google it and you'll see. I'm not lying. And all the announcers were just saying this is the stupidest thing that they've ever seen.
Is it a preseason thing or is it going to go to the regular season
No,
too?
I think it's going to go to the regular season this year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy crow.
Yeah.
Speaking about stupid, did you hear what your Yankee manager said?
Well, about which thing?
Oh, there's more than one. The one I know about is where Major League Baseball should look at the mercy rule.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, he said that. Yep.
Oh my God. Are you, Aaron? This is the major leagues. This is the major leagues. When you play minor league, not even minor league, when you play little league baseball or even high school baseball, and the team is heavily outmatched, and you're just kicking their pants all over the field, that's where you have the rule, so that people don't get embarrassed. Well, this is the major leagues, Aaron, in case you don't know. And if some team is kicking you all over the lot, you deserve to be embarrassed. So here's the guy who's managing the team who has the second best record in baseball, and he's crying because he got thumped the other night and he had to use another pitcher that was not who was a position player. Are you kidding me? Learn how to use a pitching staff. Learn how to extend the starter so you don't have to pitch these players that are position players, and you won't be getting thumped 19-6. What a joke!
I look at it this way: there are a whole bunch of those guys on MLB Network think that they should institute the mercy rule, and
they're out of their mind.
And I say no, because exactly right. You're a professional, and they're complaining. There's been a lot more of these garbage pitching things this year than ever before.
More than I've ever seen. We said that the other day.
But you know what? That's just because maybe if they don't do this stupid thing, and maybe they can get it back so where pitching and hitting is equal. Where hitters don't have the advantage they have nowadays. Maybe they'll put the ball back the way it was.
Well, here's another thing. Go to ESPN's website and pull up a box score for yesterday's game or any day's game you want. Guess what you see? Well, when I used to look at a box score, you see at-bats, runs, hits, walks, strikeouts.
Yep.
Guess which one of them is omitted from ESPN's box scores? One of them is omitted. Guess which one's omitted?
Hits?
Strikeouts.
Oh, strikeouts? That's because, yes.
They don't want to publicize how many times people are striking out.
Strikeouts are now insignificant.
Or they're acceptable.
Yep, insignificant, which is amazing.
It's a joke. Yeah. It's an absolute joke. Mm-hmm. So you want to get the mercy rule in. Okay, here's another one. So guess what's legal now, Aaron? It's called gambling. Yeah. And they have a thing called the over-under that you can bet on games. So if some team's getting thumped 10-0, and you bet the over in a game, which is 12, and they stop it after 5, you lose your bet. Do you really think that this is going to happen?
I just think as a professional athlete, and you put in that spare shortstop, you do it because you know what? In a game that's like 19-7 or 19-2.
Don't let it get to be 19-2.
No, but all of it was. Let's say you get to a bad thing, the fans are still entertained.
They're paying for 9 innings.
That's exactly right.
So if you're going to have the mercy rule in baseball, what's next? In flag football, which has some big comebacks lately because of the lack of defense in it, when you're down 3 touchdowns, 21 points, what do you play with, the running clock like they do in high school football too?
Yeah.
So you want to adapt rules to major league, to professional sports that they don't even have in college and in the minor leagues. Give me a break.
Can you imagine on Broadway, the singer comes out and you're 20 minutes into the show and he says, you know what, I'm just not feeling well.
I'm not feeling it today, folks. Have a nice night.
It's the mercy rule.
What a joke.
Yeah,
and you know what's even more crazy than that? People agree with him.
Well, there's a lot of people that agree with it. A lot.
People are agreeing with him.
I didn't even like it in Little League. when I played in Little
I can understand it in Little League because some teams aren't good.
Yeah.
And some teams are stacked. It's just the way it goes. And it's even that way in high school. So you have the mercy rule because you can't tell kids to stop playing.
Yeah.
You could tell coaches to stop coaching where you go base to base and stuff like that and, you swing at bad pitches. You just tell them to do it. But this is professional baseball. This is supposed to be the best professional baseball in the world. And if you're getting thumped, you're supposed to put your tail between your legs and say, oh, well, we lost today. Oh, well, let's go sit in the dugout. Give me a break. You get your butt kicked, and you come back and play tomorrow.
That's
Too
it.
bad.
Yeah.
The Yankees lost 19-6 on Thursday night. They came back and won the next 2 games by 1 run. That's okay, Mr. Boone, right? Give me a total lunacy.
Yeah, right. How was your racing this weekend?
It's poured at the in between races up at Saratoga, so everything got all screwed up there.
All right. Well, I'll speak to you
They've
tomorrow.
been getting a lot of that lately.
Oh, God, yeah. Off and on showers. Oh, yeah. All depends where you are. It's amazing.
Like they lose showers.
Yes, yeah. Car wash showers. Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, really, really nuts.
All right.
So we got good games this week. Cleveland plays the Mets, and the Yankees go play Oakland and the Dodgers this week.
That's it. All right. I'll check with you mañana.
Have a great day.
Take care, Mike. Mike Cozzi with Check on Sports this morning here on the Breakfast Club on Robin Hood Radio.